busy.
Yes,
I
there's a
know
lot
you're
going on. Maybe we'll get into it later.
I wish I had a whole day because I have a lot of questions to ask you. And you know,
Yeah.
with the questions, in as much as the studio, I'll find time. I have to sit with you. I have to look in your face and be asking all the questions because, and this song, beautifully loved by Najeli.
I love this so much.
You love the song.
It's one of my favorite songs.
I don't know for what reason.
It's the reggae part. You know, you be jumping in your bed and, raising up your hands in the air. Yeah. You know me, I like it. So I'll be, my hands, yeah. Right now, I was doing the fingers.
I told you today we have the ladies in the house, so you hear a lot from them. But Akesse, some people think that because of your busy nature, some people think that maybe you stopped doing music. Like actively.
Actively. I don't think there would ever be a time that I would, detach from music. It's like the crux of who I am. I don't think, even if I'm not, recording music, I'll still be involved in writing, directing, and all the other things about the music thingy. Okay. I think that it was my first love. I mean, it's actually music that drove me to salvation.
Wow.
So it's something I hold dear. I don't think that there would ever be a time I'll stop doing music.
Ooh. Now, at least with the little I know, being ordained as a pastor, I know, I'm not sure. Are you into construction?
No.
Okay.
No, not construction.
But there's something somewhere like that. You do something.
Yeah, I'm a lecturer. I am an academic, at Pentecost University. So if you come to the communication and media department and you major in advertising, you're likely going to see me.
No way.
A businessman. And with all of this, because I know it's not easy, because if you're to teach Monday to Friday or even Saturday, you let's say Monday to Friday, you do church Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
What time do you get to make music?
Fortunately, I don't have to teach Monday to Friday. It's a university. So I only get to lecture maybe 2 or 3 times in a week.
In a week, okay.
Right. And the rest is writing, academic writing and other faculty business. And then, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, gigging and pastoring.
Okay.
I'm a very compartmentalized person. I schedule myself a lot. So I'm able to juggle those pieces.
Oh, sounds good. So how do I address you, Pastor?
Akesse
Brempong
Brempong is just okay. I like that.
You're the only one who doesn't. It's either Pastor Akesse Brempong or Sir or Dr. Akesse Brempong.
Well, I don't know, but our church has a very light-hearted philosophy.
Okay.
Empowerment Worship Center. So if you see any of our billboards, you don't even see designations. So my global lead pastor, you see him on billboard and he's Gideon Danso.
Okay.
So we have that philosophy of being light-hearted, not cloaks and clericals, so that the young people can come to you freely.
Yeah, they can just feel free and come to you.
Yeah.
So now, do you have your own church or you're yet to start something?
No, I used to pastor the Adenta branch of our church, and I was moved to start off with groundworks for Kwabenya.
Okay.
I'm back in school, so I have to put that down and then concentrate on a PhD program.
School. I know when we mention or talk about school, some people are always like, you feel some way because it looks a lot, but I think that some people, it's a calling, or isn't it?
To whom much is given, much is required.
And no one. But does the church support your music?
Definitely. I mean, if you have a church like Empowerment where it's very youthful, when you release music and the young people in the church really, kind of vibe with it, it goes a long way to promote it. And then again, we have conferences all around the year. I get to minister at our conferences and all of that. Of course, I've had events in my church. This current recording that we've released was recorded in one of our churches, Achimota,
okay.
the Achimota campus of our church.
All right.
So yeah, I mean, the church supports a lot support for what we do.
All right. I mean, this. I'm just gonna ask this because I mean, you cannot say that they are all. It's all at once. But which one or where is your concentration now? Is it more on pastoral work, on school, on PhD? Which one is it? Or music? You cannot do all at once. There's one that there's more concentration on.
Doreen, I told you that I'm very, scheduled.
Yeah, but dear, you can tell that this particular one.
PhD in nature,
I know because
when
I hear stories of PhDs, like it's no joke. It's no
I know
joke.
thing, yeah.
I know thing.
But we are conquering one mountain at a time.
But we never say never.
Yeah.
So I understand. So at the moment, that's your girl.
Yeah.
Today I brought them all together for you, so
and
don't worry. So where's your church now? So are you still with Empowerment or which of them?
I'm with Empowerment. I'm at the Prayer Factory, the headquarters.
Okay.
So that's where I'm at now. If you want to find me, you'll find me there every Saturday, Friday, Sunday. Yeah.
But you used to work with Nino as your manager, right?
Yeah.
Is he still your manager?
No, we parted ways. I think about when is it? I think about 2 years ago. 2
Was
years
there a
ago,
reason?
We just I think that it was time for him to concentrate on other things. He's a very entrepreneurial, doing a lot of stuff with CER. He's also a banker.
Yeah.
And we felt that it was time for him to concentrate on some of those things.
Yeah.
I've always had a team, not just a singular manager. I've always had maybe a 4-member team, every time. And Pearl was doing, all the work at the time.
Pearl is my girl.
Was just prudent that she handles. She comes to the fore.
Okay.
And those stuff, yeah.
But how's your relationship with Nino, though?
We are good. We are brothers. I mean, there was friendship before management, and his wife was actually a singer in my team, so, yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah,
and Nino doesn't want to manage him.
I don't want to go there.
You don't want to go
I'm
there.
respecting myself.
Well, you're respecting yourself, I hear. I understand. So you have a show coming up.
Yes. Yes.
Please help me pronounce that name.
Oh, it's just David and Ick. So Davidic.
Okay, so I would have pronounced Davidic.
Right, that's also correct.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
But why Davidic? What's Joe Metal's own?
Praise Reloaded.
Okay, then there's another one.
There was Trek.
Okay, there's Trek.
Oh, Trek is the Resurrection Effect.
Okay.
Concert.
Yeah, there's one that has Davidic. Okay.
Emojis is a new wine.
Yeah.
New wine. Okay.
Ohima Mercy is Tehila.
Tehila. Yes. So is that line Tehila? Then we have Kadosh.
Kadosh, sister.
But why that name Davidic?
Davidic in English you would say means anything that is related to David, right?
Okay.
And I took inspiration from Acts 15:16, where it's prophesied that before the coming of Christ, there will be the rebuilding of the temple of David again, before Christ returns. And if you study scripture carefully, you find out that there were 3 different places of meeting. There was the Mosaic tabernacle, the tabernacle built by Moses. And then there was the Davidic tabernacle, which was built by David. And then a temple constructed by Solomon.
Okay.
3 different places of worship. And when you consider Moses' tabernacle, it was very ritualistic. It was that place where there are divisions, outer court, inner court, holy place, holy of holies. And before the priest could even go into the holy of holies, they have to do sacrifices, tie something around their waist so that if they are struck down, they'll be pulled out of the place. So it's a very ritualistic, methodic place. You don't joke over there.
Okay.
Then David came and then reconstructed that tabernacle. And in David's tabernacle, there are no divisions. He instituted the 24-hour praise and worship, and a whole lot more. Then there was Solomon's temple, which was very, beautiful, pomp and pageantry, gold, precious stones everywhere. If I were God and I was to rebuild any of these temples or tabernacles, I would have gone for Solomon's.
Why?
It's pomp, pageantry.
So,
Moses' own rituals. David's own free, music 24/7. But he chose to rebuild that of David because there's something about Davidic worship, how David went about worship, praise and worship, that caught the heart of God. And that's what we want to reenact on the 21st of April. Praise and worship after the order of David, how David did it, so that God would say that he is a man after his heart.
Okay. And you're doing that where?
Holy Hill Assemblies of God, Kwame Nkrumah Circle.
Okay.
5 p.m.
This one, the heart of town.
The heart of town, yeah.
So you cannot afford to meet. Do we have to pay to come? Is it for free?
Yeah, it's 50 cedis for single ticket, 80 for double, and 100 for VIP.
Hey, Akesse.
Yeah.
Didn't you hear some time back? Which pastor said it, that gospel musicians should not be charging for events?
Yes, but the lights, no.
The air condition, no.
Yeah, and
the seating, no.
Yeah.
Okay, so the money is not for you, it's for...
You see, and the truth is that your ticketing will not cover a quarter of your expenses. It's a way to get people, committed to what you do. Okay. Where your treasure is. That's where your heart is. So getting people committed to this thing, that's one of... And, Doreen, I've done this for 10 years. This is my 10th year as an artist. And I've done events. Maybe I've done Agape Carnival. We did about 7 series of Agape Carnival.
Wow.
I never charge a dime for any event.
Wow.
So this is the first event I'm doing that I'm trying to get people committed to by way of charging. Yeah.
Oh, which makes sense. It makes sense. If you're just joining us, this is Daybreak Hitz, and my guest this morning is Akesse Brempong. He has a beautiful event coming up. He calls it Daybreak. I'm happy I'm able to pronounce the name, because when you're not able to pronounce the name, it becomes a problem. So if I'm pronouncing, you should also be able to pronounce it. Daybreak, and it's happening on the 21st of April. Yes, he said Assemblies of God.
Holy Hill.
Holy Hill. That's
just behind the GCB Tower Circle.
Okay, all right. So you cannot afford to make. You were telling us 50 cedis for everyone.
50 for single, 80 for double, and VIP is 100.
Okay, all right. So now I'm going to give my other lawyers the chance to also ask questions, and then I think we can move. So I'll start with Nwela. Nwela Karinyale is here. So yes, please go ahead.
Anyway, you're welcome.
Thank you.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why
are you looking at me like that?
I'm on for.
Anyway, so I find it really interesting that you are, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
I find it really interesting that you are a lecturer, and I'm wondering how you juggle lecturing your students, maintaining discipline as a lecturer, and your status as a celebrity celebrated gospel artist in the eyes of your fans who are still your students.
Yeah, that's something. So my students will tell you, and the last time I walked into Adum TV, I found some of my students on internship. My students will tell you that I'm very free, but also very principled. So principled that 5 minutes after I've walked into the lecture room, you don't come into the lecture room.
Hey.
Yeah.
Haven't you got any students in for power show? I don't know. Sometimes you enter and then you're like, say please, I beg.
Doreen, I think we're about to be your students.
So my first meeting with my students, we set the ground rules. I had the I had the situation where the first meeting with my students, they have phones.
Oh,
They're trying
they
to
were just
video me.
filming.
And I'm like, if I see any of these videos on social media, you have an F.
Ajay.
So I set the ground rules first time when I meet my students. And for some reason, I don't lecture first year students.
Okay.
I only get to lecture second year. So they hear about me. They hear that I'm in the department. They kind of see me in the lobbies all the time. And then, boom, now you are taking my course. When I come in, I set the ground rules, and you realize that this is serious academic business. So and sometimes, when your students want to patronize you, for example, if I teach media, culture, and society, and we talk about how the media affects culture, that symbiotic relationship between media, culture, and society, and we're trying to delve into how media, can culture people. They kind of use my songs.
Oh.
So, they are using you as examples, ask questions, and they all saddle back at you with your own, so it's like they're taking my bullet and shooting it at me.
But isn't it a bit dicey? I mean, I get your point where you'd want to maintain discipline in the lecture room, but being too strict, don't you fear that it may come back to bite you? If, for instance, again, like you're an active gospel musician, you're organizing events, these are people who would in turn be your patrons.
Yeah, so let me say, fortunately for me, the principles that I sing in my songs are the same principles that I should be applying
Okay.
in the classroom,
Okay.
and especially in a Christian university.
Okay.
That's a smart one.
That's a smart one.
Yes, it is.
All right, let me come to Steph. Before we'll talk about the song, the new song as well, and then we'll move to Najili. Is that
Right.
okay now?
Oh, cool.
Yes, okay. So, Steph, please go ahead with your question.
Okay, so mine is not really a question. I just want to congratulate him for being able to multitask.
Thank you,
Being
Steph.
an actor, going back to school, lecture is not an easy thing to do.
I'm telling you.
And I'm sure if a parent is out there listening to him right now, he would be motivated or encouraged to allow their children to actually do or pursue their passion whilst they are in school or
Yeah,
anything.
anything, yeah.
So congratulations once
Thank you.
again.
Thank you.
But we
Appreciate it.
plead with our parents to take it easy. If we want to do entertainment, they should let us do
Oh,
entertainment. And
Charlie.
then we'll go to that side.
Charlie,
Because at
Doreen.
the end of the day, we'll go to school.
Yes.
But sometimes, even that could be a motivation.
Of
You
course.
just go into that aspect. So if it's music, we just want to go into music. If it's acting, if it's anything at all, just put us there. Allow us to go. And that will serve as a motivation to go to school. It's not that we won't go to school.
My
At this
my
age-
mama is listening. She broke my first guitar.
Good morning, Mama. We have forgiven her. Before we come to now, you have a new song.
Yes, I do.
Okay, tell us about it.
It's called Victory Everywhere, recorded live. We recorded an album called The Awakening sometime last year and started churning it out. And this one features Kofi Owusu-Pepra, the phenomenal guy.
My goodness.
It has this Makosa Francophone, vibe to it.
Okay.
It's a declaration of our victory in every, facet of our lives. It's going to be a blessing to you. I believe it.
And yet, let's take the blessing.
I'm taking it.
Fantastic. Let's take the blessing.
Let's go. Everybody.
feeling it the way I'm feeling it. And I love it when I can actually hear the lyrics of the song, when I can relate to the lyrics of the song. This morning, I want to take the pastoral. Look,
Go on, Doreen.
I want
Go
to
on.
preach. I want to preach.
Preach, sis,
oh my
preach.
goodness, this is music. This has every feeling. It has everything in there.
Thank
And
you.
it features Kofi Owusu-Pepra.
Yes.
Such a beautiful song.
Thank you, Doreen.
I can't wait to see you two on stage with the song.
What happened?
Oh my goodness. You see, I the way I was moving in the seat, I wanted to stand. But when I stand, the body doesn't support it. That's what I don't understand. That's what I don't get. Good morning, watching you live from Pond Beach. Great work. And this is coming from Kobe Educhum. Thank you so much, Kobe. And wherever you're also watching us from, you can definitely send us a message here on the show. My guest this morning is Akesse Brempong, and as I said, we have a show coming up. It's titled Daybreak. It's happening on the 21st of April. So 21st is just around the corner. So you can start preparing for it. You can start doing susu, 10 cedi, 10 cedi, 10 cedi, 10 cedi. You get 50 cedis. If you are two, do it 10, 10, 10, 10, get 80. If you are two, you can go and have a good time and also give thanks to the Almighty God because it's the first quarter of the year.
Yeah.
Second. When
This
actually
is-
the
we,
second.
we actually in the second hour.
Yeah,
Well,
second
so you
quarter.
see, you are alive. Some people are not making it till this day. So if you are making it, let's go and say thank you to God, and let's go and sing about victory as well on that day. Well, of course, he's still here in the studio with us, and we have a lot more to ask. And actually, let me do now, and when I finish, I'll come because Noella says she has one other question. So now, over to you.
I'm happy we did this song before the conversation because I was going to go to the genre of music he does. You're
Okay.
doing gospel,
Yeah.
but your how do I say it? Instrumentation, the flair, everything is different. Now, I wanted to find out, is this purpose, like this is something that people will say, oh, it's my calling. And when, I wanted to do music, I got a direction, there was a vision.
Yeah.
But at the time you started making music like this, and like what we played earlier on,
Yeah.
wasn't, and even the one, your collaboration with Joe Metal, it's not, what's it called? Joe Nyame,
Right.
The way the tunes go, they don't go like our normal gospel songs.
Yeah.
Was it like a vision? Was it something that you knew was going to work? And is it working?
Yeah. Like you say, I'm very purposeful about, styles and genres. So I take time to study genres. So if reggae, I go to the people who do the proper reggae.
Okay.
Look at what tones, how they are defining the genre. With regards to reggae, if you are an avid follower of reggae now, you realize that they have moved from the
the usual.
hardcore reggae to what we call pop infused reggae now. So the genres keep moving, and I'm an avid student of musical styles and genres. So that when I'm producing in whatever genre that I'm producing, I want to color it the way that if I'm producing reggae music, the reggae lover in Jamaica must pick my song and not find it wanting. When you put it on the scale of reggae music, it still can be meaningful to them. So that's the way I approach my production.
Okay.
So I'm a gospel musician whose songs Black Rasta would play.
Oh, well, that's true.
That's good.
That is very
he plays
true.
my songs all the time, and it's because he plays reggae music, and my songs fit into the style.
Exactly.
The message may be different, but it fits perfectly into the style.
So you've been intentional about it.
I've been intentional about it from day one.
Did you add prayer to it?
Of course, the efficacy of the music is the prayer invested in it. You are not just doing music for musicmanship's sake. You want to touch lives. You want to make a difference. That's how come I can have testimonies like a stillborn baby coming back to life.
I remember
by
that
just the playing of my songs. It's not just the musicality and the versatility. We've always invested prayer into the things we do. So yeah, study the music, understand the music, but also, there's a higher force. There's a higher force that you need to, consult.
I believe that because when the music started, we couldn't stop dancing. You yourself, you are witness to it.
Noella, briefly, let's do this quick.
I actually had 2 questions, but now you're saying briefly.
Briefly.
So first of all, I'm hoping TGMA organizers are listening. This would be a fantastic opening. I mean, the song. I'm just imagining him performing
with Kofi Owusu Prepara, right?
As an opening performance.
Yes,
it would
victory.
be excellent. So I'm hoping, Robert Clark, you're listening. This is a great, idea.
Robert was my senior in tech.
Yeah?
Really?
We were in Explo together. Robert.
I love the politics. I love it.
Robert, make it happen.
I love it.
Oh.
Secondly, I know about how let's say circular musicians do their collaborations in terms of split sheets stuff, when they collaborate with each other, how they how do I even put this?
The revenue sharing.
Right.
Okay.
How does it work
With the gospel
side?
It's the same way.
It's the same.
It's much the same way. I mean, so sometimes we downplay the business aspects of it. But I've always have that, at the back of my mind, that a brother is bringing his gift on your project, and so, he also have to benefit from what comes of the project. So if you contribute to my writing, the split sheet comes.
Great.
If you contribute to the performance, you get the performance rights and all of that. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Let me give briefly to Ria, who just joined us this one. Ria, but you enjoyed the song?
Yes.
Well, Ria is here
Akesse
too.
is one of my top 5 gospel, one of my faves. One of my faves.
Thanks,
so,
Ria.
I'm just excited. I'm
Thank
just
you.
excited for you. I mean, I don't want to call you underrated, but people are still trying to assimilate. So I'm rooting for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, Coca, good morning. The only gentleman with us this morning.
It's a packed house today,
Of
pal.
course.
Yeah. Oh, wow. We love you.
I prayed. I prayed you all came in today. Coca, you want to say something
Oh, I
briefly?
have a lot to say.
Oh, briefly.
A lot.
I know
Briefly.
thing.
We cannot kill him today.
Oh,
Briefly.
How do
Briefly.
business become brief?
Huh? Oh,
do business-
briefly.
So my first question is, how has the gospel fraternity taken the business side of gospel?
I know thing.
No dang, bruh.
Listen, I believe poverty in the gospel fraternity is what has made the industry poor. Because if the kind of songs they produce, they don't need event centers because you have a lot of churches.
Yeah.
The commercial value we underplay is why poverty comes in. He's doing a show. I am happy he got out to do that show. Now, if he is running that show, Accra, Kumasi, Takoradi, Tamale, the momentum from Accra will give him the revenue around. But we are not doing it. The charity, giving it, we do it free and say, Nyankopon say, Yanyema.
We did here charge.
Now, if you are sorry for us, say, and you also have a yogurt, pokey,
Chips.
malt. Why are they refusing to take the monumental part of the business serious?
So assembly, you see briefly. See, why over
No,
brief?
one church because they have me.
Oh, yes, some cranny. Eh? What's the producer? Okay, only Oyenkwe. I can say, I can say, please, let's go.
Yeah, I'll start off by saying that people have different dispositions to doing gospel music. There are some people who think that it's pure ministry, and others who think that there has to be a balance, a delicate balance between business and ministry. I go for the latter, in the sense that I believe that there's a lot of investment that the gospel musician must make to be able to put the product out. But you also don't want to be too money-minded that you lose out on your mandate as a minister, right? So there has to be a delicate balance. it's unfortunate that our, ecosystem doesn't have, let me say, systems to help gospel music the way secular music is helped. Gospel music in our country and in our region lacks the systemic support. So if you consider who are your top 5 gospel musicians, think about them. They don't have executive producers. They don't have record labels. And the few who, by God's grace, have been able to break through are trying to bring up some others. So,
sorry to catch you, but on the bit of the gospel ministers bit that you mentioned, I mean, I don't think most of our gospel musicians are ministers, and even if there is, must every gospel musician be a minister?
The truth is that the practice of the gospel musician is ministry in itself. You don't have to be ordained a minister, right? Because you are singing about Christ. You are actually, singing the values of Christ and everything else that Christ represents to people, and you are hoping that your music is changing lives and affecting. It's ministry in total. Right.
From where she just ended, I also have a different stand, because Christian music then will be what I'll go for. Because when we talk about gospel, we are talking about Christ.
Coca, let's go to
You
David.
get me?
So what will be your definition of Christian music?
Christian music. Everything about creation, about God's creation. Everything. Because him falls under Christian music. But only Pakro Nyansa Kacha said we are doing gospel music. That person has really worried us. It is the reason a lot of people are doing Christian music, but we don't see them as gospel artists.
Coca,
yes.
Please, Nana Kwame Askam. Nana Kwame, I'm sorry. Nana Kwame Askam. But all of you here,
Yes.
21st of April,
We're going to David.
we are going to David. You see, we are going to David.
No, but what you don't know is that show is sold out.
Okay, please, and please, listeners, nobody should call Akesse Brempong that can I have a ticket. Don't
it
go
is
and,
about the reggae fraternity.
yes, please go and buy the ticket. Don't call and say that Mpacho Menya ticket, please.
Please, I
Go
perform.
and
You know why
buy.
people are calling for free tickets? Because why free at check?
No,
Victory.
but there's
Of course.
yes, and it's happening. So 21st of April, David is happening at Assemblies of God Church. That's
Yes, Holy
Come and sow
Hill.
your seed.
Holy Hill,
Coming from
okay.
Aseko.
All right, so it's at the middle of town. So make sure you come. Ah, my darling, Ninoy. Good morning. So yes, make sure you're there on the 21st of April. We are all going to support them, and as I said, it's not just to support them, but you know how you have lived your life in your own way. You can carry your 2 legs and go there.
How do you go and support somebody when you need healing?
But that is
Coca,
why I am
one
saying
day,
that it's not
Coca.
just going to support, but you also need healing. So
You're
you
going
now
to the
you have to
hospital,
go.
so buy your
tickets.
Buy your ticket for consultation.
Yes, so
Thank you, Mr. Kuka.
Okay.
thank you, Mr.
Right.
Coca. But we beg you, if Luigi McLean comes here, we beg
Don't
you
ask
take
any
it.
If he's
dangerous.
also going to do a free show, they just show or the price.
I can say, please, your last words before we wrap it all up.
I want to say thank you, Doreen and your team. It's always a pleasure being here.
Thank you.
So if you want to buy tickets for Davidic, please, we have a short code that you can buy the tickets with. The short code is *725* 1900 hash. *725* 1900 hash.
There you go.
You can also buy it on my website, www.akessebrempong.com. I want to say a big thank you to Saxton Ghana, Fedems, Multi-Choice Ghana, East Wing Clinic, and then Mont Water, and then Upswing Music for the support, the sponsorship towards Davidic.
All right.
We are grateful. See you all on the 21st.
Yes, you
vehicle.
go increase.
Ayo.
Akesse
Akesse, thank you so much. And by
Thank
the way,
you.
I love your name, Akesse Brempong. It's such a beautiful name.
Father given name. I didn't adopt it.
Oh, so beautiful.
And then the final one is you don't need to say you are taking Trotro to come to Joy FM to come and buy the tickets.
Okay.
It's on your phone.
That's right.
And so just buy it.
Okay.
Free nature do Christopher free do.
Nana Kwame, please bring coca tea for me. Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Akesse
Doreen.
Brempong. Really appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
And yes, Akesse Brempong was my guest.